Hello, princesses, and welcome back to Not Fit for Print Beauty with me, Rebecca. I have got a good holiday release for us today. In fact, play those sleigh bells because this really is an amazing gift for someone that you love or for yourself. We're going to talk about the Voyager collection from Scott Barnes. The lovely people over at Scott Barnes were kind enough to send this my way, and wherever you were a few days ago when you heard that squeal of delight, that was me opening my package. So here's how it comes. Let me show you. I'll insert, because I've already ripped this all apart like a crazed animal, but let me show you the way it comes, because this is so thoughtfully packaged, and it's why it makes it a tremendous gift, but also something really special and important when you open it up. First of all, we have this beautiful box and really just high-end, lovely photography. Scott Barnes has a photography studio here in Los Angeles that he does all his own photography and all his work. He's got this world-class studio that he uses to the best advantage, and these photos that accompany this are amazing. I inserted, of course, the photo of how they look, but each one has individual photos. This is just amazing. So the Voyager collection really reflects on something kind of interesting, if I may go off on a little bird walk for a moment. You see, the pandemic and all the shutdowns, they weren't kind to any businesses, especially small ones. And independent makeup brands, same. So we haven't heard a ton from the talented Mr. Scott Barnes in quite a while because the pandemic and shutdowns and whatnot. So the brand is now kind of revamping and coming at us again with some superiorly intelligent makeup, and I mean that. But also the fact that this collection is called the Voyager collection really speaks to the need to get out there again and travel again. Each one of these 5 palettes is devoted to one of Scott Barnes's favorite travel destinations. And wait till you hear what the destinations are. I'm sure you'll agree. There are 5 different palettes reflecting 5 different cities or countries. Each one of them has 9 eyeshadows. Don't worry, we're going to look at them all. And 2 different shades of blushes and generally formulas of blushes, matte or a little bit kind of more reflective blushes to go with each look. They're comprehensive looks, or you can use them in between. And right now, all 5 of these come packaged in this amazing Voyager gift package for $225, which is actually not bad for how much makeup you're getting. Now, can you buy each of these little palettes individually? That's the hope. That maybe at some point we can, that is a hope, but for right now, you get all 5. So what I'm going to do, and I'll never possibly do it enough justice, but what I'm going to do is show you, we're going to look at all of these here. I have swatched each one of these palettes individually, both in studio and outdoor lighting. I have been a busy one with all of my swatches, and we're going to even try them all on, I know. But for the sake of time, I will try to move through it quickly, just so you can see what you'll be getting if you buy this most gorgeous Voyager collection. Okay, again, I told you it was $225, and let's start talking about the cities and countries. The first one we're going to look at is Paris. Look at how amazing this is, and that is using a look from the palette on the front photo there. Beautiful, and here are the shades in Pan in the Paris palette. These have the 2 lightest blushes, but a lot of blues. A really good palette if you have maybe fair skin, lighter hair. Great palette for a makeup artist who wants to put these in your kit. Let's look at the Paris collection here. On my arm first in studio lighting. Beautiful, isn't it? Look at those blues. That one blue is so dark and deep and rich that I had to do the swatches twice because it wanted to come on over and flirt with the other swatches. And now let's take a look at the Paris palette outside in the warm California sunshine. That's how you can really see these shades in action. They're so pretty, and they're powerful where they need to be, but kind of light and translucent and buildable otherwise. And the bright colors in here are done, like I said, really thoughtfully. So they work and are balanced out by the neutral shades. It's not like, you know, we get certain palettes, I won't name any names, where it's all wild colors. You know what I'm talking about. There's not much you can do with it. But each of these palettes, even with, for instance, the Paris palette, even with the kind of wilder, you know, so to speak, blues, we have all of these kind of neutral, pretty, tame shades that either balance out the blues or can be worn without the blues. You see, so you can go either way with it. Let's take a look at Italy. First of all, check out the art. This is all done, I guarantee you, in Scott Barnes' studio. And by the way, I'm going to put, when I play with these palettes, I'm going to put the names of the shades I'm working with on the screen. But I love the fact that they all have, like, all the shades in here have Parisian names, and all the shades in the Italy palette have Italian names. So let's look at those. First of all, in the pan, this is a very smoky, smoldery Italian look. And I love that for Paris, we named the city, but for the Italy palette, we just named the whole country. I couldn't agree more. What a delightful country. Let's look at the shades from the Italy palette on my arm, first in studio lighting. And then don't worry, I will definitely take it outside into the warm California sunshine. Here we go, looking at the Italy palette outside. It's just a really kind of a smoky, pretty, almost eggplanty grays. Beautiful palette. How about London? Let's look at the London palette. First of all, super fun photography on the front. And then here is the London palette. Look, it's got that really pretty, bright pink blush, which I will use separately in the, I'm trying to get this out of the lighting for you guys, which I will use separately in the demo. Some of these I swirl the blushes together, but these two blushes I'm going to use separately. And look at those smoky colors and browns in the eyes. Very pretty. Let's look at the London palette on my arm. First in studio lighting. Moving through this quickly for you guys. And then after you've taken a nice gander at that, let's take that London palette outside into the warm California sunshine. Such a beautiful palette. Look at Dubai. Now this, first of all, that's amazing. I don't know where this one was shot, to be honest. I would have to ask. But look at that. And the palette itself really feels like a warm desert, but with kind of an evening breeze, doesn't it? Can't just be my imagination. And our blush shades here, we have one that could almost act like a, if it wanted to, like a little bit of a bronzer or warming. You could warm the face with it depending on your skin tone, and a highlighter. Okay, and here is the Dubai palette on my arm first in studio lighting. Take a look. And then to see it even better, let's take this little fella outside into the warm California sunshine. Very pretty. And finally, last but not least at all, is the palette I'm currently wearing all over my face right now, and that is the Australia palette. Look at the photography, first of all. It's amazing. It's just beautiful. And again, using this palette. Look at that. Now this one has my two favorite blushes because it almost is like a highlight blush and just a really kind of universally flattering blush. And again, this one has our brightest shades, but what I did, and you'll see in the demo, is I just worked around one of what I see as the wilder colors, and then I kind of gave it some grounding with so many neutrals that are in here. But of course you could mix palettes because right now when you're ordering it, you're getting all 5 of them. So you could go ahead and go back and forth, which is actually kind of cool. Let's take a look at this Australia palette first on my arm in studio lighting. Check that out. And then let's take it outside into the warm California sunshine to see what I will be putting on my eyes last. This is the look you'll see last up in the demo. Super pretty. So there's so much here. There's no way to possibly give it its due, but I really wanted to do an overview for you, and I hope that you request other looks and things that I can do here on TikTok, on Instagram. I just really have fun with this release, and I'm so grateful that the lovely people at Scott Barnes thought of me and sent it over to me. Let's go to the demo where we're going to try on this whole stack right in front of me. There is no way to do true justice to these beautiful palettes and give them all their due, you know, while keeping an interest in time and such. So let's do the best we can. We have 5 palettes. We have two eyes. So just to test out the formula, see how everything looks and works, we're going to give 1 eye to each palette, wash it off, and at the end, the 5th palette, which I think is Australia, we'll get both eyes and mascara and such. And I can do more looks and more requests and things over on TikTok and Instagram as well for you. But in the interest of time, I just wanted to see how these lovely little gems perform. So let's start with Paris. I mean, you can't do worse than that. And I will put the names of the shades on the screen for you. Boy, am I going to have a lot of brushes to wash after this, because I promise I will make certain to switch out my brushes so we have clean brushes here. And we have all these lovely names. Très chic, I love it. Okay, I'm going to start right here. This is a shimmer shade, but I'm going to start right here in the middle and just put this on. We're going to use this eye, I suppose. I had it planned for that, but that's perfect. We're going to give the other eye over to Italy. So we're going to have France and Italy represented here on my face. That is beautiful and goes on. This is a really nice shimmer shade. It's almost has an adhesive quality to it. And I mean that in the nicest way. I'm going to go into this brown shade here, right at the top. And what I mean by that is that it's not going anywhere. It's sticking to my eye. If you do not like fallout, you will be very, very happy. I'm running this under the eye just a little bit, just kind of to darken, and that's a really kind of sophisticated look. I really like it. Okay, I know that I need to get into these blues, so I'm going to take the same brush. I'm using mixing up some brushes here, but mostly Sonia G today. And we'll go into this blue color and just kind of put it over the lid. And I love the fact that this powder blue is almost transparent, because it makes it very current feeling. It makes it feel, it takes away the retro feel to it in a good way. Rather, it doesn't date it, and it makes it just kind of very today and very nice. Okay, and then I'm going to take I'm going to switch my brush up, and I'm going to take this duochrome here and do 2 things with it. I'm going to put it into the inner corner of the eye, and just a little bit on the center of the eye. And you'll have to use your imagination a bit regarding mascara and eyeliner. I can't do that to my poor eyes here, changing so much. But that is a very, very pretty, very très chic Parisian look. And we're going to give this eye over to the country of Italy. I love how a lot of these are cities, but for Italy, Scott Barnes got the whole country in there, and why not? As he should, right? Okay, so we're going to start here with actually this matte shade right here in the bottom. I'm going to go back and put the blushes on. I did not forget. Can't forget the blush. Okay. And up here, same brush, very different look on the 2 eyes. Right here. This shade right here, pop it into the middle just for a little bit of lightness to lighten up the shade. And look at how pretty that is. We have Italy and we have Paris, but let's get the cheeks going here. Okay, for our Paris eye, I'm going to use a really dense Rephr brush, because these are our lightest blush shades, and I'm actually just going to go ahead and mix them. Let's see what we get here. Actually, really nice color payoff on the cheeks. Switching to a clean brush for Italy. And I'm going to mix them again. Although this one has a little bit, we have a matte and a shimmer, but I kind of like mixing that up. time for a little bit of a makeup wardrobe change. Time for London and Dubai, and then I can do Australia and add the Scott Barnes Max Out Mascara, which is probably the best mascara ever made, or darn well up there. So let's do London and Dubai. Not two cities that are often mentioned in the same breath, but now they are. So we're going to take, again, a Sonia G brush, and we're going to go in here in London. One of my favorite cities in the entire world is London. And we'll give this eye over to London. Now remember, it's, as I said, slightly unfair. That's pretty, isn't it? Slightly unfair to act as if, going in right here, there's one look from all of these palettes. That's just silliness. There's almost infinite looks. Look at how gentle this is. There's almost infinite looks from all of these palettes, and certainly in that sense I'm not doing this justice. But, oh, I just love this kind of smoky gray look that I'm getting out of this one with just one brush. Ooh, I love it. Can you imagine this with the Max Out mascara? Ooh, some good looking stuff. And then we have a kind of a fun little blush set with these two. Let's go ahead and put the pink on, just the pink itself. And then it looks like, let's just do, and I'll overdo it so you can see this really bright kind of peony pink shade. Ooh, that's lovely. And then a little bit of this just over the top, just to add a little bit of dimension. I'm really loving that smoky gray and pink. How pretty is that? All right, let's switch over now and give this eye over to Dubai. Okay, so this, boy, this is going to present some interesting choices for me. I want to go in with this right here, all over the eye. Why not? So already we're really kind of deep. Oh boy. Dare I? I dare. Again, not matching up with this eye, so it doesn't really do it justice, but it's they're really two beautiful smoky eyes. I guess I kind of have to, don't I? Going into the blush, I love this shade right here, and I think it just deserves kind of its own. Mismatched as I am, we have London and Dubai. Coming up next, Australia. Last but not least, we have the Australia palette, which we will devote to two eyes, and I already have my Max Out mascara on, which I know is a little backwards, but we're okay with that, right? Okay, this is a beautiful palette too, and I'm going to start here with this Sonia G brush, and I'm going to go in actually right here with this shade, and this time we're going to do it on both eyes. Okay. All right, let's see. I'd like to try, ooh, we got a purple, we got a blue, same brush, why not? I'm gonna go right up here with this beautiful, almost mermaid-like blue shade, and I'm just gonna put that into the corner. Isn't that pretty? And maybe a little bit of this shade here. I like to pick one color. I don't really like to do kind of a peacocky look with the blues and the greens and the purples. I like to choose one for each look that I do, and then surround it with the neutrals. I just think that grounds it a little more for my tastes. And there it is. let's get some of this beautiful blush on. This one has almost a highlighter effect. So let's take this lighter shade and kind of go up, and yeah, we're gonna pretty much highlight with it. And then I'll do the blush after. I'm even gonna put some of this on my nose. That's super pretty. And then same brush, I'm gonna go into, I think this might just be my favorite. I was gonna say that I didn't have a favorite. Maybe London, but I think Australia too. Australia and Italy are the only one where we get the whole country. In Australia, we get a continent in there too. Now, I am overdoing it on the blush. Please know. I just want you to see what that shade of blush looks like. Yeah, I think this one might be my favorite. Maybe this in London, but this one did have the advantage of getting both eyes into it. Absolutely just beautiful, and makes such a beautiful package and such a nice gift. An absolute joy to share these with you. I think Scott Barnes at this point is just known for these kind of exceptionally well packaged, both literally and figuratively, collections with really thoughtful makeup that works together. I wouldn't be afraid to mix and match these among palettes, certainly. But the way the shades work and the way they reflect the country and city names that they represent, absolutely gorgeous, and such a thoughtful way to curate the presentation and to package them. Beautiful photography, beautiful makeup, from one of the most prolific minds in makeup artistry. I am absolutely thrilled that Scott Barnes decided to send this to me, and I thank him so much, and all the lovely people that work with Mr. Barnes. Just a delightful collection. I thank them so much. Let me know what you guys were thinking. Were you going to pick this up? This would be a tremendous gift for the makeup lover in your life, or for yourself. Absolutely beautiful, beautiful items. So let me know your thoughts, please. That's why we're a community. Talk to me down below. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. I sure hope that you did. And if you haven't already done so, what's stopping you? Make sure that you subscribe to this channel so that we can keep growing. I would love to see you guys over on Instagram and TikTok too, where I'm happy to do more complete looks from this collection. Give it more of its due. I'll answer any questions that you guys had. Don't forget, you can become a member. You can join to become a member of this channel for behind the scenes and other coolness. And I will see all of you in the next video. Bye-bye.